massive dose of spinach, so I'm also getting my iron, and I'm getting some leafy green vegetables before I walk out the house. And I'll either combine that with some almond milk, or I combine that with some coconut water. I'll also throw some strawberries and blueberries in there for antioxidants, and some nuts, so I've got some protein. And I often throw a little bit of yofu, which is a yogurt equivalent made of soya or yogurt itself. Lemon in the morning, as I've said. And if you manage to have your smoothie, you will be having 3 portions of fruit and veg before you walk out the house. Bang! And it wouldn't matter if you didn't eat until you came back in the evening. Teeth pulling, oil pulling. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. This is a practice which has been proven to be beneficial, whereby you put a tiny little bit of oil, and I put some wonderful baking soda in that with some turmeric and some essential oils. The essential oils I use will be peppermint, and mix it around, and you put it in your mouth and you swill it and swill it and swill it and swill it for about 20 minutes, so it gathers and gathers and gathers saliva. Not only does this clean and pull all of the toxins and little bits from your teeth, but because you are doing that, then it is said to draw out the toxins from your body as well. So it cleans your teeth. One, it actually makes them feel delicious afterwards. Coconut oil is wonderful for cleaning your teeth. And you'll run your tongue around afterwards and you'll feel how special that feels. Deodorant. Deodorant is a big one. It's a little bugbear of mine. Lots of women will shave. They will put a deodorant straight on full of aluminium chlorohydrate, goes straight into their lymph nodes, straight into their system. And then there's a wonder why we become ill. Please don't use those sorts of deodorants with the alcohol and the aluminium chlorohydrate. There are lots of natural deodorants around. One of the best that I use, again, is made with coconut oil in actual fact, and they work wonderfully. So please don't use those. Same thing, throw out your cooking utensils that have got non-stick on them and change your deodorants. That would be a really good start. Epsom salts. People used to talk about Epsom salts years ago, and they are incredible. Throw it into your bath in the evening. You will always be guaranteed to have a better night's sleep because they will up your magnesium levels. Nice hot bath, it will calm you, and it relaxes the cardiovascular system. So Epsom salts are wonderful, not only if you've got some knocks and some strains and your joints are hurting, but they're also good because it will whack up the magnesium levels and may help you have a better night's sleep. 8 glasses a day of water, as I said, certainly before you go to sleep, and certainly as you wake up in the morning. 2 big glasses to get your system going. And how much to eat each meal time? I would say that you need to ensure that you are not going to eat more than 70% of your maximum. Leave yourself about 70 to 75% full. If you're eating above that, obviously your system is struggling to cope with it, but you are also overeating, and that's not good for you. Make sure that you're having a balance of acid versus alkaline foods, and the balance actually needs to be around 80-20. So if you are having acid foods, if you're going to have a burger or you're going to have something a little bit different, then you need to make sure that you're balancing that with at least 4 times as much fruit and vegetables. And as I say, vegetable takes predominance over fruit because fruit does contain natural sugars. And how much protein do you need at a time? Well, specifically for meat eaters and people who are going to eat a slab of steak, this is far too much. Our bodies can't digest these massive steaks that people are having. So as a guide for food like that, we would say the protein needs to be approximately the palm of your hand, no more. If you're going to have eggs for breakfast, which are fantastic, then obviously you can have a couple of eggs, but we are talking really meat protein and heavy protein, which is a little bit more difficult for your body to digest. Ensure it's around the palm of your hand size. And then common misconceptions. Calories and empty calories, which I've mentioned already. What I would urge you to think about every time you put a mouthful into your through your teeth, which is the gateway, ensure that you are putting in positive calories. Learn what the food is going to do for you. Ensure that every mouthful has some benefit for your body. It's a fantastic journey to go on to understand the benefits of different foods and what they can do for you. So ensure that every calorie that's going into your body is going to do your body some good. It's not an empty calorie. It's not for the sake of it. Fats, good fats and bad fats, which I've mentioned already. Make sure that there's a balance. Make sure that you are having your oily fish, or you're having your foods with essential fats at least 3 times a week if you can. Not only that it helps the brain, as I've said, but it will help the cardiovascular system, and it will also help your skin. Sweetness versus nutritional value. I would say if you're going to use sweeteners, no point using sugar. Sugar has no nutritional value. It only puts the body under stress. And most sweeteners do put the body under stress. So if you're going to use something that you need to sweeten something, think about using fruit sweeteners, which are more natural. Think about using dates to sweeten your food. And also think about using coconut nectar, which has a far better nutritional profile than any of the other sweeteners that I've found out there. Diets, don't do diets to lose weight. Don't get on a pair of scales. I never advocate that anybody gets on a pair of scales. You know how well you feel. And you know and you feel whether you need to lose weight. But also I would say if you're eating the right things and you are ensuring that you are eating positive calories and the food that you're eating is beneficial, then you don't need to get on a pair of scales. You will know that you're doing the right things. Our weight is obviously important, but it is secondary to knowing that you are filling your bodies with the right food that is going to lead you to be healthier and fitter and is of good nutritional quality. And last one, somebody says this to me all the time: I went for a run so I can have a beer, right? Slightly jokey. No, not really. Exercise doesn't balance your eating habits at all. In conjunction with it will make you healthier, but certainly doing a session in the gym or doing your run or pushing yourself really hard in a class doesn't mean that when you then go and have your bottle of red wine that it's going to be okay. Bottle of red wine is extremely acidic and it is full of empty calories. Supplements and RDAs. I wanted to talk about supplements quickly. RDAs, recommended daily allowances. Recommended daily allowances were set up by the World Health Organization for areas where there is famine. So when we look at those, I don't tend to take much notice. Vitamin C I'll have 3 times a day because my body gets rid of it. So I ensure that 3 times a day I'm replenishing. It's the only vitamin that your body does get rid of like that, and therefore you can take it to bowel tolerance level. You'll know that you've taken too much vitamin C because you will need to go to the loo more often. Supplements. I advocate supplements, and I take lots of supplements myself because our food, despite the fact that I cook from fresh, despite the fact that I overdose on my fruits and my vegetables, the way that our food is farmed today, we do not get the nutrients from it that we did over 100 years ago. So therefore I do supplement, and certainly because I'm dealing with fatigue and because I also manage a digestive issue myself, then I supplement to ensure that I can manage those issues, and I take digestive enzymes as well as that. So I would recommend, not everybody goes out and just buys supplements willy-nilly, and all supplements are certainly not created equal. So the supplements that you buy from Tesco's would not be the supplements that the nutritionist recommends you at all, or the ones that I would recommend to people that I work with as a food coach. So while I do recommend supplementation, I don't recommend going buying cheap supplements that are full of fillers, because they will do you absolutely no good and they will be a complete waste of money. So make sure that you do work with somebody to give you a little bit of advice. Or you may just want to take a really good multivit. So you might want to use a BioCare or a Solgar multivit, add some vitamin C in, and then see if you would need something extra apart from that. But it's a good place to start, as well as the dose of acidophilus or good probiotic that I talked about when I was talking about healthy guts earlier. And fasting, something again that somebody asked me, is fasting healthy or not? Fasting is actually extremely healthy, obviously not ongoing fasting or for a long amount of time, but the 3-2 diet is effective, not again for weight loss because I never advocate that, but the 3-2 diet is effective for moving your body into a period of optimum health. And there is talk these days that for major diseases, a period of fasting regenerates our DNA. So it can certainly be beneficial for regenerating new cell growth and fighting disease. And Robert will tell you some more about that. So I would say that fasting can be healthy. Even if you're going to fast, as I say, if I have my smoothie in the morning that has my chia seeds, my nuts, sometimes my avocado, my spinach, my coconut water, and I've had my glass of lemon, then it doesn't matter if I don't eat till way later in the day. A period where your body is actually just free of food and not having to work through and digest is good. So fasting, yes, obviously not ongoing fasting for days and weeks, but certainly giving your body a break can give it the chance to regenerate. And common allergens and food elimination. I work with people a lot to eliminate dairy, wheat, yeast and gluten. As I've said before, this isn't a case of denial, but many people, if we were to test you, would put stress on your body and your heart rate would go up if you are going to digest these foods, not to mention the effect that it would have on your digestion. So while some of you can tolerate this, and some people can tolerate this, lots of people can, it is more difficult for us to digest. And for that reason, I don't have a specific allergy to any of them, although I do think that yeast, for me, is probably the worst. But I tend to try and eliminate all of those. But there are fantastic substitutes which you can work around. So I would advise you to form a new relationship with food and let food become functional on a whole new level. And I don't mean by this, don't enjoy it. I mean enjoy it more, treat yourself more, build a relationship where you understand what every mouthful is doing for you, and that can be so beneficial. Turn off your phones, your PC, TV while you eat. Really get to know and be more intimate with the food that you're eating. Even if you only understand what one of the things on your plate is doing for you, or one of the benefits, or one of the vitamins that one of the foods contains on your plates, just start to think about it a little bit more. And I would think about emptying your cupboards and restocking them. Go through what you've got in your cupboards, have a look at labels, examine labels absolutely meticulously before you buy foods. And certainly if it's been in your cupboard for a long time, re-examine the labels. Check it for yeast. Yeast is in absolutely everything. Check it for extra sugars that are thrown in, and extra salts and additives and preservatives. We don't need them. And understand what benefit each food has for your body and for your mind, and what it may do for conditions or things that you may be suffering. And we can do, all of us do this these days. We can all look at the internet. We can all research things ourselves. It's far too easy to just feel unwell and go and take a seat at the doctor's and wait for somebody else to give us a magic pill. By that time, it's too late. Build this relationship with food. Understand what your body needs. Become intimate with what foods can do for you. And certainly before you make that doctor's appointment, which you may well have to, sit down and see what you can do for yourselves. Can a few changes here and there lead to an ongoing better lifestyle where you're feeling better and you may have longevity? And ensure that everything that you're eating has a positive effect. It offers nutrients for you and valuable calories. So being healthy, therefore, is a conscious decision and a choice, absolutely conscious decision. Becoming healthy, the best decision you could ever have made. And I thought it might be interesting, again, on the internet, there's conflicting stories about this guy, but whatever the truth is, I think he lived to a pretty healthy age. Li Qingyuan was meant to have lived to 265 years of age. He is, in theory, the oldest living person in history. And whatever the truth is, I think it is fact that he lived to a pretty ripe old age. He was a herbalist. He had no 9-to-5 lifestyle. He had no debt. He had no polluted air, obviously. He had loads of exercise, living in the fresh air. He ate no refined foods, no modified foods, no sugars, pesticides, no antibiotics, junk food, alcohol or tobacco. So when we treat our bodies right, who knows how long we can live for, and certainly how well we can feel. With the right amount of sleep, exercise, relaxation or meditation, which is known to add to longevity, raw and unrefined foods where we're getting the goodness straight away, seeds, connection with nature, and perfect mental, spiritual and physical well-being. And the quote that I just took from the site that I found Li Qing from: keep a quiet heart, sit like a tortoise, walk sprightly like a pigeon, and sleep like a dog. And finally, three books that I have found, again, revelationary. One, The Optimum Nutrition Bible with Patrick Holford. 2, Spontaneous Healing with Dr. Andrew Weil.